I'm going to teach you the #1 trick for perfect microblading retention. My name is Kristi and I'm the owner of Boss Brows. I've been in the beauty industry for 13 years now, specializing in microblading and microblading training. I love to share all my tips and tricks with you guys, but if you're ready to step up your brow game and really learn and perfect the art of microblading, we have a full online microblading academy. So go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so that you know anytime we put out new videos. How is it possible that you make a stroke using this microblading tool? And how will you practice perfect technique to ensure that your microblading strokes heal flawlessly? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create that nice curved stroke that will heal flawlessly and you get great pigment retention. The tip for today is how we're going to get our microblading tool to hit the skin at a 90-degree angle. Okay, I'm gonna break down how to create a stroke using your microblade very simply. So right now I'm using a U-blade. Now when you're working on synthetic skin, you have to use not the tip of the blade, but you wanna use this side or the other side. So if you're pulling your stroke and you're going this way, you want to make sure it's at a 45-degree angle with the tip or the end of the microblading tool pointed at your chest. So you would go like this. If you are going to push your blade, then you want to tip it at a 45-degree angle this way so that you're using this side of the blade. And then you would pull like that. So the first thing you can do, and these come in your microblading kit if you are an online student. If not, these are available on the Boss Brows website, but you want to get one of these inkless synthetic skins. These are great because you can practice anywhere. I want you to turn it over to the blank side. Use the back of a synthetic skin, and I want you to just make one long stroke. The reason why I have my students do this is so that they can learn how to not dip their hand from side to side. When we're using a pencil and we're drawing, we go like this, right? I'm going to show you how to keep your blade or the pins on your blade at a 90-degree angle, which is going to in turn give you a nice clean stroke. When that client comes back, those strokes are going to be healed and the pigment retention is going to be perfect. Start off with just a stroke, one long stroke, let the blade do the cutting for you, and notice how my hand does not move. My hand is staying parallel to the skin. Okay, I'm gonna do one this way so you can also see. One long stroke. And I'm not pushing into the skin. All I'm doing is letting my blade drag. Notice if I push into the skin, which this is what you don't wanna do either. If I'm pushing into the skin, not only am I going to just trash my blade, I'm going to cut the skin. We don't want to cut the skin. See how thick that line is? So I can actually tell when my students turn in their work if they're putting too much pressure on their blade. They're gonna end up trashing that blade. It's gonna get dull real quick. And you're going to cut the skin. We don't want to cut it, we just want to scratch it. We only want to hit the top layers of the skin, reaching the very top layer of the dermis. If I want to add a curve now to my stroke, what I do is instead of using my wrist to get the curve, I'm going to apply that thumb roll. Now I have other videos on this, so if you want to check those out, go for it. But the whole purpose is to keep the pins 90 degrees to the skin. So that means we don't want to dip. Instead, we're going to apply this thumb roll. So if I'm pushing my blade or if I'm pushing my microblading tool, I'm going to be pushing my thumb or pushing my thumb and pulling with my finger. Most people hold it like this, so it'll look like that. If you're pulling your stroke, you're going to be pulling with your thumb. So if you hold it like this, you're going to be pulling with your thumb and kind of pushing with your finger. Pay attention to the tip of this arrow. The movement is going to be very subtle. It shouldn't be jolty. It should be fluid. It's starting here and that point is going to end there. And I'm getting a perfectly curved stroke. And that movement is all coming from that thumb roll. So when you're struggling with your strokes, go back to the basics. Practice your technique. I want you to practice one long stroke just like this, the whole length of your synthetic skin, and see if your hand is dipping from side to side, or see if your hand is dipping forward or backward. It should stay parallel to the skin. And once you've done that perfectly, then start to add those curves. Once you've got that down and you can do a perfect stroke, then it just comes down to the direction of your blade, which we'll go over in another video. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.